Hey, good night, everyone, and welcome to the Fitma Show. I'm your host, Jason Craig, and in tonight's episode, we are going to be learning some important stuff here, man. How to lose your first 10 pounds without starving yourself. Now, I'm super excited to be here, and I'm really grateful for everyone of taking the time to show up. Now, I'm actually going to be sharing my screen here. So let me just go ahead and pull this up because I've got a really fun presentation for you guys tonight. You are going to love it. I can assure you that. And that is not me being cocky. It's just the truth, man. That's what's up. All right, guys. So tonight our title is How to Lose Your First 10 Pounds Guaranteed. Now, as I said, I am your host, Jason Craig. And in tonight's episode, you guys, girls, everyone here, you're going to be having some fun. You're going to be having some fun. So first of all, let's always start it off. We have to find out where our audience is coming in from. So let's go ahead and do that roll call. So I want to know exactly where everyone is coming from tonight. Now, I know we got a big audience base now. So put in the comments. Let me see in the comments where you are signing in from so that I can give you all a good and hearty shout out. All right, so let me see where the users are. Okay, so I got Anne, I got Sherilyn. Hey, Sherilyn, good to see you. I know you made a special effort to be here. Thanks a lot. So we got Angela, we got Marilyn, Beverly, Sherilyn, Arlene, Jacqueline. Okay, so Grenada, Dominica, Bob. No way, Canada. Please let me have a Canada flag up there. Amazing. Rick Solomon, good to have you from Canada. All right, 784, Vinci, Trinidad. Nice. Okay, so we got a massive audience base here tonight, and it's definitely amazing to have so much of you here. Let me just switch the camera around. All right, so we still got it loading. We got Grenada, we got St. Vincent again. Wow, wow. A lot of people here. That's good. That's good. Keep it rolling. Let me know if you just join us. I'm your host, Jason Craig. Thank you for joining us on the Fitma Show. And I'm just asking, where are you coming in from? I'm looking forward to seeing your reply. Now, if I don't have your flag up here, I'm so sorry. Like I just saw Canada. I think that's the first Canada we had since we started the show. So Rick Solomon, good to have you. Let me just put you up there. Lovely. All right, so we got Trinidad again, Listra. Wow. Okay, so it's heating up. Now, it's amazing to have you all here. Thank you again for taking the time out to be here. And it's certainly a pleasure. Now, if you join us for the first time, don't forget to go ahead and follow us on Facebook at Fat Loss Revelation, or if you just research Jason Craig, that should pop up. Or if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe now button because we got so much more content coming out. Now, this show is all about helping mothers and wives create a body that they're proud of. My name is Jason Craig. I'll be your host for the show tonight, and we got a lot of fun-packed information. So right at this time, whatever you're doing, if anybody is distracting you, I ask that you please remove all distractions. Grab a pen, grab a paper. You're about to learn some amazing stuff. You definitely want to grab your pen and paper and write down what you're going to learn, because once you implement this, not only will you be able to lose your first 10 pounds, but you'll be able to use your 15, 20, and just keep repeating it until you've hit your goals. So go ahead, remove any distractions. If you need to go in a room by yourself, separate yourself from the audience, from your families, whatever it is, go ahead and do that so we can make sure that you are in a position to grab all of this powerful information. Now, of course, we have to start every show with the Fitma Shoutout. And tonight, I'm going to be shouting out some special ladies. And you can see them right here on the screen. All right, so we got first Elizabeth Quintero, Janelle Alexander, Sylvia Burton, and Tessia Williams. So every time we do a Fitma Shoutout once we start the show. And for this week, I want to shout out these four ladies for the dedication that they have shown this week. Now, these ladies showed up every time for our live Zoom workouts. And one of these ladies were actually at work. She actually worked an overnight job. And she made sure that she took time off, went into a little office space, getting her workout gear at 5 a.m. in the morning to do her workout and then resume her normal duties. And these ladies have shown dedication. So I just want to give you all the Fitma shout out of the week. Elizabeth, Janelle, Sylvia, and Tessia Williams. And all of these ladies are mothers, wives, and some of them are even grandmother. Of course, we're not going to specify who is who, but yes. So special shout out to you ladies. And again, thank you so much for being dedicated clients, pushing it forward, and not making anything stop you from hitting your goals. So if you just join us again, we just asking where you're signing from. Just type the country in the comments below. We're going to be kicking this show off really quick. I don't want to keep you all too long here, so I'm going to be kicking this show off. Now, while we're doing that, I know some of you got your Fitma t-shirts like I have on here. And for those of you who haven't received yours as yet, specifically those in Trinidad, as you know, because of the recent tightening of the regulations there, we're still waiting word from our manufacturers in terms of if we'll be able to continue with it, and so we're just waiting for it. But I know everybody in Antigua has gotten theirs, the Vincentians have gotten theirs, the Bajans, yours are on your way, as we said, and Trinidad, again, with the recent lockdown, it just totally pushed everything out. So as soon as we get that resolved, you ladies are going to be able to rock your Fitma t-shirts. All right, so don't worry, we got you covered. Now, tonight's topic: how to lose your first 10 pounds guaranteed without starving yourself. How to lose your first 10 pounds guaranteed without starving yourself. Now, before we actually get into that, I want to know from in the comments, are you guys excited about this topic for tonight? You gotta bring the energy up here. Let me know if you're excited. Give me a 1 in the comments if you're excited about what we're gonna learn here tonight. Okay, so while we're doing that, we've got Edlin from Grenada. We've got Kels from Trinidad and Nesta from New York. Wow, we got New York in the house. Good to have you. And we got Shabaka from Canawan. Hey, Shabaka, good to have you. And Jill from Antigua. All right, so we're getting the numbers coming in. So we got 1 from Jacqueline, Hannah, Vashti. Okay. So everybody's excited about what we're going to learn here tonight. Amazing. And I promise you, it is going to be a fun topic. You ladies are going to definitely enjoy it. So let's get ready. Let's get strapped in, because I don't want you to miss anything that I'm going to be teaching here. I've got my notes here, as a matter of fact, just to make sure that I don't miss anything. So with that being said, let's jump right into tonight's presentation. But of course, before we do that, we must do a movement break. It's after all a fitness show. We can't come on the show and just sit there inactive and do nothing. So we must do a movement break. Now I'm not going to stand up, so we're going to be doing it seated. All right, so y'all ready? Let's go. So give me hands. We're going to be doing a top, let's call this a top stretch, right? So drop one hand down. It's like one of my favorite stretches now. And move on over to that side. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, bring that hand back up. Drop the other hand and move in that direction. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. That is your movement break. Fitma is all about getting you in the best shape of your life, and it starts with one exercise at a time. So you just completed that. Good job. Now, I've got a question for you. And again, I want to hear your interaction in the comments. As you're going to know, I'm not going to be sitting here and just teaching all night. No, that's not my style. I want to get you all interacting, and I want to get your feedback. It's the closest we'll get to I being in person with you. All right. So, which is the most important when it comes to weight loss? A, nutrition. B, fitness. C, rest. Put it in the comments below. Which is the most important when it comes to weight loss? A, nutrition. B, fitness. Or C, rest. All right, let me check the comments here. Let me see what we're going to. Okay. All right. Crystal, A. All right. Jillian, welcome from Grenada. Denise says A. Rest. Okay. Deborah says rest. All right. Edlin says all 3. Okay. A. Now I'm loving this. I'm loving this. You got to bring it up. Joe says all 3. All right. Cool. Love it. So I'm going to be answering this question, but not right now. When we go through the rest of the presentation, we'll come back and we'll answer it. So some say nutrition is more important, some say fitness is more important, and others say rest is more important. Now, for this example, let's imagine that you're going to bake a cake and you're like, okay, what kind of weight loss coach is this? The first example he gives is something that deals with an unhealthy cake. Come on, we got to add humor to it. You don't expect me to put up a salad here for you, right? Let's bring some humor into it. So just work with me here. Just work with me. So just imagine, right? You are going to bake a cake, right? Let's use that for an example tonight. Now, there are certain things that we need. Number one, we need the ingredients, right? We need the ingredients. And the next thing we need to do is to mix and combine those ingredients. So every cake recipe calls for different quantities. So maybe a half cup of this, a quarter cup, some baking powder, fruits. We got our chocolate there. Whatever it is, every cake calls for different ingredients. So in this one, we're going to first of all find out what those ingredients are, get them ready for our cake making operation. Next, we're going to get a bowl and we're going to combine them. As per the recipe, of course, combine them and mix it all together. Now, once we've gotten that done, the next thing we're going to do is place it in a baking pan, set the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 350 degrees, and put it in there for 45 minutes. After that is done, we are going to take it out, let it sit for a bit and cool down before we put on our icing, frosting, or whatever else needs to be added to that cake, right? Everybody follow me so far? Everybody in agreement with that? I know we have some professional bakers here and chefs. Everybody follow me that far? Give me a 1 in the comments if you follow me so far, right? So that is how we are going to go about our cake making process. Now, this is a simple illustration. However, in it is a powerful lesson. Now, one might say, of all the examples you could have used, why a cake? No worries. Like I say, we're just keeping it humorous here tonight. So with that being said, we can actually break down the 4 stages of cake making into the process of cake making, into 4 stages. The first stage is the preparation stage. And that is where we get the recipe, we get the ingredients, and we have everything ready to go. Now, once we have that, we move to the combination stage. That is where we take all of those ingredients and combine them in the order as per the recipe, right? So we combine it, we mix it all up, we bring it together. We now have a batter that is ready to go in the oven. Which brings us to the third stage, the activation stage. This is where the fire meets that batter, and after a while, it brings it all together. It becomes hardened, the cake is baked, as we say. And the last stage, number 4, is the finalization stage. That is where we take it out, allow it to cool off a bit, harden up some more, and then, and only then, after it has cooled off, then we can consume of it, or if we need to put on our icing. 4 stages of our preparation, of our cake baking, right? Now, what if I told you that when it comes to losing your first 10 pounds, you're actually going to go through this same 4 stages: preparation, combination, activation, and last of all, finalization. So with that being said, let's move to stage number 1, the preparation. And the preparation, we're going to break this down in what we call nutrition part 1. And we're looking now at what we eat. Let's go back to that cake example. Now, let's say that the cake called for white flour, right? Again, this is what the cake recipe calls for. It calls for 1 cup of white flour. Now, let's say you went and added 2 cups of whole wheat flour. Would you expect that the result at the end to be the same as if you had followed the recipe as it was laid out? Put in the comments below. Yes or no? All right, let me wait. Now, the comments does have a delay, right? So if you hear me pausing, I'm just waiting for the comments to load up, right? Yes or no? Obviously not, right? You can't expect that same result. Now, when it comes to a weight loss, the nutrition And I'm breaking it down into two parts. Nutrition part one, this is the preparation. And in this part, we're talking about what we eat. So we can either choose foods that will complement our weight loss, or we can choose foods that will destroy or affect our weight loss in a negative way, right? You could either be complementing your weight loss with what you eat, or you can actually be destroying your weight loss by what you eat. And let me explain it to you. The best diet that you can go on, or when it comes to choosing what to eat, there are two things you want to ascertain. Number one is make sure that these are foods that you can get on a regular basis. So case in point, when you look at most weight loss recipes, they call for foods that generally, especially if you're living in the Caribbean, we don't have in abundance here. So like, let me just give you some of the examples of the ones we see. We see like salmon. We see things like quinoa. We see things like grilled chicken breasts. Now, we do have grilled chicken breasts, but if you want to buy that every day or make that in a meal every day, a chicken breast could run you for anywhere from $10 up to $20 depending quantity you buy. So just in expense alone, that is probably not something that is practical into your daily or your monthly budget, right? So the first thing you want to ascertain is the foods that you can get on a regular basis. Number two, you want to ensure that your nutrition consists of not only foods that you can get on a regular basis, but foods that you actually enjoy. Because one might ask, Jason, what is the best diet to go on? And my answer will always be the same. The best diet to go on is the one that you will follow. Because I can tell you go on a plant-based diet, which according to research has been proven to lose weight and also get you healthier. I could tell you go on a keto diet. I can tell you to go on a lacto-ovo diet or pescatarian. However, if you do not enjoy any of that, those diets will be short-lived, right? So when I normally consult with clients, the first thing I find out is what do you enjoy eating? What kind of foods you enjoy eating? Now, these are these foods that we can get on a regular basis. Now, once we get a yes to those two, that is stage one completed. So no longer are you required to try dieting, because we are just going to take the foods that you already enjoy and put them in such a way that they will complement your weight loss. So that's the first part. That's the preparation part. Ensuring that you are getting the foods that will complement your weight loss and ensuring that these are foods that you enjoy and that you can get on a regular basis. Now that brings us to stage number two. Nutrition part two, combination. How and when we eat. So we have found foods in our local that we enjoy. Now we can take, let me just give you a good example. So most of us would agree that vegetables are healthy, right? Most of us would agree that. You can take that same vegetable, which is inherently healthy, and deep fry it, put a batter in it and deep fry it, and now you have changed a perfectly healthy food that was normally found in nature that will in itself do so much wonders for you, and combine that food and transform that food into something that will now destroy not only your weight loss journey but your health. So that is the second part. These amazing ingredients that we have just acquired, these amazing foods that we love to eat and we can find on a daily basis, how are we going to prepare them? Are we going to prepare them in a way that will impact our weight loss positively, or are we going to prepare them in a way that will damage every effort that we put out on our weight loss journey? So you may be asking, Jason, I understand what you're saying, but how do you recommend that we prepare these foods? Now, generally speaking, when it comes to food preparation, these are the preparation methods that are preferred. Raw. When I say raw, there are some foods I could eat raw. Like for example, lettuce. A lettuce could be eaten raw. Sliced tomatoes, sliced cucumbers, that could be eaten raw, right? Another way is boil or broil. So you can boil it, like in the case of ground provisions. Most of us here are from the Caribbean or have Caribbean influence. So let's just take our sweet potato yams. You can put that in a broth, that's boiling. That preparation method is boiling, right? You can also bake. Again, that can be done with our meats, like our fish. It can be done with our ground provisions. You can bake those, right? That's a acceptable preparation method. Now, barbecue is on the line. The good thing about barbecue is that there's not much oil required for the preparation of it. The bad thing is the smoke. So that's why I say it's on the line, because I know there are these new fancy machines that you could barbecue without seeing much smoke. So they kind of have the benefit there. But the key thing you want to avoid when it comes to barbecue is that heavy smoking, because that, as research have shown, can be cancerous, right? Or can lead to you to developing cancer. So the preparation methods, that you want to avoid are, as I mentioned one before, deep frying. Now, deep frying, because of the high temperatures of the oil, it changes the entire chemical structure of the food and what it does in your body. All right. So, as much as you could avoid. Now, I'm not going to tell you stop deep frying altogether, because, again, we have to be practical in everything that we do. But as much as you can limit it, start cutting it down, because you would have gotten the first part right. You'd have gotten your food choices right. But when you prepare it in this way, you would have now destroyed everything that you have worked for. So stay away from deep fried. Stewing, if you can limit that as well, right? Again, I won't tell you totally avoid, but again, limit it. Limit it. Because when the stewing comes in, you're using, in most cases that I know, you're using the sugar for browning, which is added sweetening, right? That's added sugar to your already, hopefully not loaded, sugar loaded diet, right? So those are some of the methods you want to stay away from. And like I said, barbecue, when it comes to like heavy smoking, you definitely want to stay away from that food preparation. So that is the how, the when. Let's go back to that example. You can have perfectly great food prepared in a healthy manner, but if you are eating it at 10 o'clock in the night and going to sleep right after, do you think that is going to complement your weight loss? Let me give you a minute to let that sink in. Perfect food, perfect preparation, the how we made it, but when we're eating it 10 o'clock in the night and then going straight to bed. Do you think that that will complement your weight loss? Most of us would agree not. So that is the other part of nutrition, when we eat. General rule of thumbs. You want to eat foods, and let me structure this properly, right? You want to eat foods as per their use. Let me break that down. Generally speaking, your body processes carbohydrates better before 12 p.m., generally speaking, right? So if you have a carb-loaded diet, you want to get most of that in before 12 p.m. The second part is, and I'll show you how this can change, you want to eat according to your purpose, right? So if your goal is to lose weight, just to lose weight, your diet will be different than somebody who is training for endurance. Your diet will still be different than somebody who is training for bodybuilding. Same food, but the selection and the timing of that food will be different based on your goal. So you now need to figure out what exactly is your goal. Now, losing weight is a broad term. You can just lose weight, you drop the pound, or you can lose weight and tone up at the same time. Now, that's a totally different diet. And depend again on your shift. So let's take, for example, remember I just gave you that 10 o'clock in the night example. Now, let's say you are a nurse, right, who signs in for work at 7 p.m. Now, if she were to do that same thing, it wouldn't have that negative an effect on her. As a matter of fact, it might be better for her, because assuming that her work shifts require a lot of walking, rotations, checking the beds, checking different rooms, at 10 o'clock in the night, she's now working. She is now burning that energy off. So if she eats like that at 10 o'clock in the night, she is going to utilize that energy. But for most of us who do not work a night job, the purpose of sleep is to rebuild. When we are going to rest, our energy requirements drop significantly. So when we are finishing the day with a big plate of food, all we are doing is adding insult to injury, as we see here in the Caribbean. because you have now loaded your body up with a ton of energy. Your body realizes, well, wait, it's not sleepy going and sleep. Let me go in the Caribbean local here. It's not sleepy going and sleep, obviously. So there's no need for all this food. Okay, so let me do what? Let's do this. See, now we don't need this food. Let's just store it. And guess what your body stores energy as? You guessed it, fat. Not only that, in the night, your body is supposed to be resting. Here you have the poor body breaking down food. So that is why you find when you eat a lot in the night, you wake up feeling tired. Because when your body should have been repairing, your body is busy breaking down food. So it never got to that repair function. Make sense? Follow me so far? So that is why it's important that the when we are eating is extremely important when it comes to losing weight. With that being said, let me give you, I'm going to assume that you work through the day and you rest at night. This is what I recommend in terms of eating. Upon awakening, you can, now breakfast for me is not mandatory, right? I know people say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. That is not true. That is just not true, right? The most important meal is the healthiest one that you eat and the one that you eat coming out of your fast. So for example, I normally eat my first meal between 10 to 12 p.m. Now I practice what is called intermittent fasting, right? So between 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., that's my first meal. And that first meal consists of something, maybe a complex carbohydrate. So for example, oatmeal, which is like one of my favorite things, oatmeal, maybe some mixed fruits, and some superfood powders, maybe like maca or something like that, right? So that's my first meal. Now, I've just came out of, in most cases, a full night of not eating. So my body is empty. My stores are depleted. So by eating that much carbohydrates, most of it is going to be utilized. Not much of it is going to be stored. Thereafter, my next meal will be at around 5 to 6 p.m. and that will be it for me. The average person may have breakfast, they may have lunch, and they may have dinner, which is fine. So your breakfast, what are you eating for the first thing in the morning? You are eating to fuel your body for the demands of the day. So that meal can be loaded. There's nothing wrong with loading up your breakfast. Loading up with your healthy carbohydrates, your proteins, and your fats. And if you don't know sources of healthy carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, don't worry. We're going to be discussing these on future shows. Your lunchtime as well. You could eat a little bit more healthy as well. You could eat a little bit more as well than you would. Now, here's the tricky part, the dinner time. When you're eating for dinner, what is the next thing that's coming after that? Obviously, sleep. So in a case like that, what foods do you think you should be loading into your dinner? Now, let me give you a hint. You do not need much energy going into the night. So carbohydrates are your major sources of energy. Or that is the food, the macronutrient that provides energy. So that is the one you want to limit when it comes to going into the night, because you do not need that much energy going into night. The foods you want to bring up a little bit is proteins and also your healthy fats, right? And the reason being, the protein is used for repair. Now, word of caution: preferred protein sources in the night, if possible, plant-based. If not possible, those foods lower on the protein food scale, so like fish, chicken. I wouldn't go higher than that. Here's the reason. Even though protein is needed for repair, when you hit like the beef, pork, etc., the amount of energy the body will have to expel, or the breakdown process, is so elongated that it will actually interfere with your sleep and repair. Because for example, beef takes an extremely long time to break down, and as a result, it sits in your stomach for all that time. So when you're going into the night and you want to go through the proteins that can be digested fast, so fish, of course, chicken, whey protein powder, or even plant-based protein powders, these are protein sources that can be digested fast. Your healthy fats, of course, you can always get away with those, right? Carbohydrates, I would limit, and I would especially going into rest, right? So that's what I would do in terms of the nutrition, the how and the when. That's the combination part. Now let's move to stage number 3, fitness. This is the activation. Now, if you remember, the purpose of nutrition is to fuel the body with the energy that it needs to perform its work, and also the nutrition that it needs to repair broken down muscle. The purpose of fitness is for your body now to break down new muscle and build new muscle, right? So this is where the work, the construction work begins. So when you lift weight, for example, let's just use an example. When you're lifting weight, in effect what you're doing, you are tearing your muscle fibers, and the food that you eat helps to repair them so they become bigger. So when you do the work here, the nutrition now backs it up. One is not more important than the other. Both are needed. And that is the purpose of stage 3. That's the activation now, putting the nutrition to work. And you will see shortly why this is so important. And I'll also emphasize the fact that your thinking shift away from just losing weight to losing fat. Because while we're on this topic, weight consists of a lot of things. If you're a female, depending on what time of the month, your weight fluctuates. Because of your hormones, your body retains water, your weight will fluctuate. So when you stand on the scale, you're going to see a bit of a fluctuation, and it can be discouraging. Depend on what you eat, your weight will fluctuate. Depending on the time of the day you take your weight will fluctuate. Depending on what's going on in your life, your weight will fluctuate. Waist also counts as weight. So there are so much things that could fluctuate your weight. A better percentage, or a better gauge, is fat percentage. See, that is something we encourage you to measure. Instead of just weight, measure your fat percentage. And that will give you a clearer indication as to if you are just losing weight or if you are burning fat. Because your body can also break down muscle, which is something you don't want, but it will show on the scale as you losing weight, but you're also losing muscle, right? And that will definitely affect the way your body composition looks and the way your appearance when you take a picture from the side, front, or back, right? So just keep that in mind. So the purpose of the fitness now, this is the activation phase. Let's go back to the cake example. We could have put those ingredients together, mix them up nicely, have them in the batter sitting. But if we never put it in the oven, nothing will happen. The cake will never be baked. And that is the purpose of fitness in your weight loss journey. This is where we put that nutrition to work. This is where we do the damage, the healthy damage, so that our body can rebuild stronger, repair, and we can start to come into that composition, burn fat, and get that dream Coca-Cola shape, as we say, that most persons look for. And this is the last part, the rest and recovery. This is the finalization. So most of us know if you're baking cake, right? And you take it out of the oven and you go straight to it. You start to cut it up and everything. It is going to, as a matter of fact, if you open the oven while it's being baked, right, the cake can drop. If you take it out of the oven, you never set it down, you start messing with it, it's going to affect the final product. And just like that, this is the importance of stage 4, the rest and recovery in your fitness journey. Because once you do all of that work and you never give the body a chance to rebuild and repair, then you are going to find your results will become stagnant. When your body rests, your body releases certain hormones that complement your weight loss. Case in point, when you are properly rested, your cortisol levels, which is your stress hormone level, tends to be lower. Conversely, when your rest is affected constantly, it's like you're pulling all-nighters, or you're only sleeping for 6 hours, 5 hours, 3 hours, your cortisol levels are going to be higher. Now here's the catch-21. You could be eating healthy, preparing your foods the best you possibly can, working out as per the textbook, and messing around with rest. And when your cortisol levels get high, your body's ability to process carbohydrates is inhibited. As a result, the sugar levels in your bloodstream tend to be higher. As a result, guess which hormone is being released in the bloodstream? If you've been working with me for a while, I know you know the answer. If you have not, it is insulin. Do you know what insulin is? Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So insulin signals the body to start storing fat. Now let's put this in context. You do this for one night, fine. You do this for 1 week straight, it becomes elevated cortisol, insulin goes up, body goes into fat storage mode. Week number 2, insulin levels of your blood sugar levels go up, cortisol levels go up, insulin levels go up, your body goes into fat storage mode. Week number 3, cortisol goes up some more, blood sugar levels goes up some more, insulin levels goes up some more, and your body goes into fat storage mode. You do that month after month, and you will eventually find yourself possibly running into conditions of pre-diabetes, because your blood sugar levels are so constantly high. The body now has to turn down its sensitivity to insulin. So you become less sensitive to insulin, and as a result, your body needs to pump more insulin, which, as you know, more insulin means more fat storage, and you will find that you could be working out, dieting, but you're getting fatter and fatter. And that is the importance of rest and recovery. It also plays a part in your workout program, because you can't be going red line 6 months in a row, 12 weeks in a row, 4 weeks in a row. Well, yeah, I could do it 4 weeks, probably 4 weeks, but yeah, 6 weeks in a row, 12 weeks in a row, 6 months in a row. Because if you're training in beast mood, as we call it, like training hard, all of that time, eventually that same thing is going to happen. Your cortisol level is going to go up. So even in your training, you need to sometimes, you train hard for 4 weeks, you take a week where it's just light movements, light movements, light weights, light walks. So your body recovers. Then you go hard for another 4 weeks, you break, and that's how you go. So you have to do this with your sleep in terms of your rest, and also with your working out. Don't ever work out red line right through, because eventually your body is going to fatigue. And the next part of rest is cessation. And when we say cessation, what I'm talking about is most people work, well, let me not say most people. Some folks work 7 days a week, so there's no rest. So week after week, just going. If you constantly do that, your body is going to burn out. You need to take at least 1 day off a week, away from your routine, and just let your body and mind rest and recover, because it will help in the recuperation process as well. So as you realize, this rest goes beyond just sleeping. It talks about resting from your normal training, resting from your week of work, because the benefit of rest is for recovery. And if you want to go more from a physiological point of view, rest also helps bringing that cortisol level down, which brings the blood sugar level down, which brings that fat storage hormone, insulin, down. And you know when this is more pronounced? As you are going through the later stages of womanhood. So like when we hit in that premenopause, menopause stage, and sometimes rest is on, there's nothing you can do about it, because you're dealing with like hot flashes and you want to sleep, but your body is not cooperating. So in cases like those, there are some things we recommend that you could do to help your body better deal with stress and not be a victim of the high cortisol, high insulin levels. All right, so this is why it's so important. So as you can see, just like the cake example, these same 4 stages are what you need when it comes to losing your first 10 pounds. And what you're going to find after you lost your first 10 pounds, you just rinse and repeat the process, and you will eventually get down to your goal. Now, here's the thing, right? When you do them in that order, when you do them in the preparation, the combination, the activation, the finalization, your weight loss results is guaranteed. You not only lose weight, but you look great. I wanted to sink in, because you can lose weight, right? As you would see, when you change the order, you will lose weight, but you won't look that great. And this is one of the things I hear women complain about a lot, or get worried about. Jason, when I lose weight, I don't want my skin to be sagging. If you miss any of these 4 stages, that will happen. Let me go a step further. When we first started this training, back in January of last year, we focused a lot on intermittent fasting. And a lot of ladies here would have been part of that training. And what we found was happening is that ladies were losing weight fast. They were hitting the results. They were getting down to that 10 pound, 15 pound, 20 pound. They were getting that. However, they were dealing with issues like this, which was like the loose skin, the saggy skin. And what we found is that we had to add something more. And that is when we came up with this 4-stage formula, right? Because what the exercise does, the exercise helps your body to create or build new muscle. When you have new muscle, then your body composition will start to change. So you're not going to have much of that sagging skin. When you just lose weight, then this is what is going to happen. When you take the rest out, you may get some results, but it's not going to be sustainable. You're going to hit a plateau and you're going to find that your weight loss just is not moving. It doesn't matter how much harder you work out, how much harder you diet, your weight is just not moving. It's because you're missing that rest. And this is very important when it comes to your weight loss journey. Do not miss any of these stages. I asked you guys a question earlier. Which is most important when it comes to weight loss? A, nutrition. B, fitness. C, rest. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you it like this. When it comes to baking the cake, which is more important? The ingredients, mixing and combining them, baking it, or letting it to sit? Now, I'll give you a chance to answer in the comments below. Which is more important when it comes to baking the cake? The ingredients, the preparation, the combination of those ingredients, the activation by baking it, or the finalization by allowing it to rest? Obviously, all three. Well, all four in this case. And that is the same thing when it comes to your weight loss. Because you could put in the cake example, the best ingredients. You can even go as far as mixing them and combining them as per the recipe. But if you never put it in the oven, what is going to happen? Are you going to have a cake at the end? Or let's say you put it in the oven and the recipe calls for 45 minutes of baking at 400 degrees. And you decide that you're trying to save gas. You're going to bring it down to 200 degrees and you're going to take it out after 15 minutes. Would the result at the end be the same? Obviously not. So when it comes to weight loss, nutrition is 100%. Fitness is 100%. And rest is 100%. So they are all important when it comes to your weight loss journey, because what the nutrition is going to do, the nutrition is going to kickstart that weight loss process. The nutrition is also going to help with the hormonal rebalance. The fitness is going to help with the body composition. So you're not going to be having that loose skin. You're not going to be having that plateau effect. And most importantly, this is one I get a lot. This week, actually, a lady told me she wanted to, she's not interested in losing weight so much, but she wants to rebuild her glutes. And for those of you not familiar with the glutes, that's the butt. You want to rebuild the butt. Now, no amount of nutrition can rebuild your butt. That is exclusively exercise and rest. So that is the importance of all three, because everybody can do a part of the process, but no one thing can complete the whole process. And if you miss anything tonight, that is the one thing I don't want you to miss. I used to teach this, right? And as I learn new stuff, I'm going to bring it to you. I used to teach that nutrition is 90% and everything else is 10%. The fitness is 10%, but that is not true, right? So as I learn new stuff, I'm bringing it to you. The nutrition is 100%, the fitness is 100%, and the rest is 100%. Your nutrition will kickstart the process. It's going to bring that body into that caloric deficit. It's going to help that hormonal rebalance. It's going to help to bring those insulin levels down. The nutrition is going to do that for you. It's going to fuel the body. The fitness is going to kickstart the body repair, the muscle building process, and help with the body composition. And the rest is the concrete that's going to bring it all together. Because when you rest, your fat burning hormones turns up, your fat storage hormones turns down. That's the simplest way I could put it. You also give your body a chance to rebuild new muscles, and you also give your body a chance to recharge for the next workout ahead. And remember, you are not just resting as in sleep, you are taking regular or weekly days off, and you are also taking cycles in your fitness. So you're not going to be going, for lack of a better word, balls to the wall. I know we're dealing with a female audience here, but you get the picture. We're not going to go balls to the wall all through the year. Impossible. You go hard, you take a break. You go hard, you take another break. So that way your body gets to recover, because your body is a very smart machine. If you do something for too long, your body is going to adapt to it. That's how it survives. It's going to adapt to it. And when it adapts to it, then there's no more change that is going to happen. So you need to always be training in such a way, this is your fitness now, that you can prevent your body from adapting. You can be progressively overloading and also giving the body a chance to recover. All right? Make sense so far? Now, before I continue, let me know if that makes sense so far. If it makes sense, give me a 1 in the comments. If it doesn't make sense, give me a 2. Go for it. Now I'm going to give you some time to load up the comments there, because you know it takes a while. And in the meantime, let me see if I can find some cool music here on my phone. Hema, I like that comment. I'm coming to that. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of ones. Let me just call the ones, right? Wendy, Monique, Joe, Rhea, Beverly, Jacqueline, Madame, Edlin, Sandra, Listra, Alicia, Vashti. All right, that was a musical break. So, Hema, Hema, you just had to do this, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's deal with the elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and address this here. Now, I am aware, and I'm really glad Hema brought this up, because she knows exactly why I'm laughing. But yes, some of us don't get days off. And especially with COVID, I know some of you have to work extremely hard, right? And let me address this, because this is not just for him. This is for some. There are some folks in here that need this. Now, in cases where you don't get days off, right, due to your work schedule, my suggestion is that you use something called adaptogens. Now, adaptogens are foods that help your body deal with stress. Let me give you some example of adaptogens. Siberian ginseng, American Panax ginseng, maca root or maca root powder. These are adaptogens. So what happens when you use adaptogens? Your body, even though you are not operating as it should, the effect that it would have had upon you had you not used these adaptogens would be greatly lessened. Make sense? So in your case, Hema, I would suggest that. I would suggest that you use more adaptogens. Like I said, maca, ginseng, this will help. And when you do have your rest, you maximize it, right? You really do maximize it. Another thing that is a bit controversial, but it is true. Most of us rest by watching TV after we finish work, right? Or like when we get off of a long day, we go and watch TV to relax. Do you know TV? If you watch a TV screen, it doesn't actually induce you into a rested stage, especially dependent on what you're watching. And like I say, I know this is a bit off topic here, but I have to bring it in because I know a lot of you are suffering this. What TV does, right? TV has something called blue light. Your phones have it too. Your computer screens, except you put on the night light on it. And what that blue light does, it hits the pineal gland. Now, this is just a sensor in your eyes that tells your body night from day. So when you're watching the screen, your body still thinks it's in day mood. And it never releases that hormone called melatonin, which puts your body into sleep mood. On top of that, if you are going to sleep watching the nightly news or action-packed movies, or God forbid, horror movies, suspense, that kind of stuff, you are putting your body back into adrenaline state. So your body, instead of coming into a calm, is getting excited. is getting scared, is being flooded with emotions. And certain emotions cause certain hormones that works in direct opposition to the sleep that you're trying to induce. So apart from using adaptogens, when you are trying to sleep, you can also use things like listening to more calming music. Now, I know it sounds like real old people, but my goal is to help you, whatever it takes. You can also use relaxing herbs, so like chamomile, soursop bush, right? These are some of the things that do help. Valerian root. These are some of the things that do help to induce sleep and also help to get you into a relaxation mood. Now, for those of you in the Caribbean, are you guys familiar with trumpet bush? If I had one here, I'll show you. In St. Vincent, no, Vincent is the trumpet bush. But I'm not sure if they call it the same thing here in Grenada or Trinidad or the other Caribbean countries. But trumpet bush is really good for inducing REM sleep, or that level of sleep where you go into dreaming. My wife tell me Trinidad call it back on the bush. Back on the bush. Okay, so yeah, back on the bush. If you're in Trinidad, right? That really helps to induce deep levels of sleep and vivid dreams. And that's where a lot of your recovery will happen. So I've just given you 3 methods to work if you have problems with days off. One will be to ensure that you are using adaptogens. Number 2, your night ritual. Watching TV, especially action movies, high emotional movies, nightly news, no. Number 3, use calming herbs, chamomile, soursop, trumpet bush, and valerian root. These are some of the things that will help you. And you can also include things like deep breathing or yoga, right? This will help you to induce sleep. So I really hope you guys had learned a ton of stuff here tonight and that you really gain a lot of value here from everything that we learned here tonight. Now, in the comments below, give me one takeaway point that you took away from this training tonight. Give me one thing that you took away from this training tonight. Just one. I know we run up to the 9 o'clock mark, and I don't want to go past 9. So go ahead, give me just one thing in the comments that you learned here tonight that you plan to implement. Boy, these comments do take a while to load. So just one thing that you comment. Let's put on some music while we wait. Rest is very important. Thanks for sharing. Right. Seems like everybody's watching. Stop watching TV before I go to bed. Lovely. Give your body adequate rest. Perfect. So everybody seems to be gaining the most benefit from the rest part. And I'm glad you did. And like I said, when it comes to losing your first 10 pounds, you follow this framework and you're definitely going to get the results. Now, I'm going to even go a step further tonight. Let me ask you girls a question. How would you like my team and I to hold your hand until you've lost your first 10 pounds? Now, put a 1 in the comments below if you like my team and I to actually hold your hand until you have lost your first 10 pounds. Now, as you can tell, 1 is my favorite number. Everything revolves around 1. So go ahead and put a 1 in the comments below, right? 1. Okay, I'm getting a bunch of 1s. 1. Right? Cool. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We actually have a link here. I'm going to give you a link below. And that's going to give you a chance to sign up. So my team and I, we're going to contact you and help you lose your first 10 pounds. Now, all the details will be at that link. And let me just go ahead and put that link in the actual comments so you guys can actually see it as well. And also, if you're having trouble with the link, you can go ahead and WhatsApp us at that number. And I'll give you a chance where my team and I will actually hold your hand until you've lost your first 10 pounds. Now, obviously, if you follow this system, you're going to lose more than 10 pounds. But I have to give you a minimum guarantee, right? So If you would like my team and I to actually hold your hand until you've lost your first 10 pounds, go ahead and sign up at that link below. And let me just switch out here and put that link on the screen so you can actually, I'll actually put it in the chats, right? So you can actually, right, so let me go ahead here and put it in the chats. All right, so it is in the chat. Everybody should be able to see it there. There it is. There it is right there. So if you want to lose your first 10 pounds, my team and I will be glad to help you do that. And this is what it's all about, helping you to get and create that body that you're proud of. So that address is https://lose 10 pounds with us.great.com. I'm going to put it in the comments below. You can also WhatsApp me. The number, as you can see, it's on the screen. It's going below right there. 1-385-743-1906. You can WhatsApp us there, and we'll be more than happy to help you with that. Again, my name is Jason Craig. It was certainly a pleasure hosting this show, teaching you those secrets that can actually help you to lose your first 10 pounds. Remember, the most important action that you can take after you finish the show is implementing. You've learned the 4 stages. We've used the cake example to show you, just like baking, how your weight loss is a series of stages. And if any 1 or 2 of those stages is missing, then you will not lose any weight at all. And if you do lose weight, it will not be something that you are proud of. So if you want to have a body that you are proud of, create a body that makes you look and feel 10 years younger, use those 4 steps in the pattern that we have laid out, and more importantly, implement it into your life. Now, if it's something that you need that extra help, we have a link below. Go ahead and click that link, and we will help you. My team and I will give you an opportunity to lose your first 10 pounds. We'll actually hold your hand through the process and make sure that you lose at least 10 pounds. Now, conversely, if you're having any issues with that link, you can go ahead and WhatsApp us. The WhatsApp number is 1-385-743-1906. That number again is 1-385-743-1906. It was certainly a pleasure hosting the show. It was certainly a pleasure hanging out with you here tonight. And until our next episode, next week, 8 p.m., same time, same place, I will be seeing you. Have yourselves an awesome week. Jason Craig, signing out.